bill. Now, I think the word person, and she adverted to this, person can generally include corporate person. Sorry, can I just finish? Just let me finish this. It can include both corporate person and human person, but could I talk to her separately about that to make sure that it's covered? Sorry, Baroness Fox.
That's fine. Some clarification needed in relation to a number of the points that you've made. How do we know, how does anybody know, or how does the doctor know whether any of these scenarios have happened? Is there anything in the bill that makes the doctor ask, explore? And indeed, my word encouragement was that you would say, not just were you coerced or were you pressurised, but were you encouraged, because it would develop a richer conversation. But is there anywhere in the bill where all of the things you've just said, it's not you, the noble and learned Lord has just said, apologies, can be fleshed out and discussed and teased out? Because at the moment, as I understand it, and maybe I've got this wrong, you fill your form in, somebody might even say, were you coerced? You say no, that's out the window, and Bob's your uncle, you're eligible, and off you go. It doesn't matter how often that process happens, because you gave a number of first doctor, second doctor. If they all don't explore it, then how will we know whether it was anything other than a yes-no? Because the noble and learned Lord has given a very rich explanation of what could have happened, but I don't think the bill allows us to find out if any of that will have occurred before the assisted death is enacted.
I felt insulted by being called you. I think the noble Baroness Fox is not properly understanding how the bill operates. For the two doctors and for the panel, they have to be satisfied that the... Let me finish and then come straight back. They have to be satisfied that the person is reaching a voluntary decision of their own, uncoerced and unpressured. There will be codes of practice that determine how that's done. And what's more, the panel, with the three experts on it, have also got to be satisfied. Just hold on a minute. The Baroness Fox is saying, well, that's just a tick box exercise. With respect, no. This is obviously a very serious matter. I would expect the doctors who do it and the panel who do it to take it seriously. Sorry.
My Lords, as the noble Lord knows, I've spent a lot of my life in East End housing estates in East End London, working with people. And we did research quite some years ago, and we discovered in the housing estates where I work that we have virtually every nation on earth represented in those housing estates. I spent a lot of my time working with Bengali families for probably nearly 40 years, and we know each other quite well. But in terms of, do I really know what is going on in the minds of that community and that single mother trapped in a house who doesn't speak English after all these years? The truth is I don't. The truth is it's really difficult to know. In the same way that as a Yorkshireman, I find it really difficult to really help Southerners understand what is really going on in Yorkshire. And, you know, even though I've tried many, many times, the quality of their fish and chips really don't cut it. So, my Lords, one of my problems with this over-certainty, this feels like a very white English conversation, when actually we now live as a country in a global community with many different cultures from people all over the world. And the idea in practice, because the thing that concerns me is the practicality of the lot of the discussion I've listened today, how in practice you actually understand coercion and encouragement, which I personally think is a really important word, I have no idea. I myself, having spent many years of my life with these people, would not pretend to know at such a point what I was really hearing and what it meant in practice for their life.
I completely agree that it may well be that you and I would not understand different cultures and different people in relation to what they say. But there has to be two doctors and a panel that feel that they do understand sufficient to reach a conclusion. And if they don't, then they cannot provide the satisfaction that is required by the bill. And And the idea that it's all people from a particular class and a particular demography and a particular education that will make this bill work is, with respect, wrong.
Can I just ask,